Welcome to A Simple Cook. My name is Mike. Today we're going to do sausage and peppers. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to cut us up an onion first. We're just going to do a simple dice. Nothing fancy. We're just prepping everything before we start cooking. One of the things you'll see people say, don't scrape your knife your board like this to move food over. I do it. I used to do it all the time. It doesn't bother my knives, but if you use the edge like that or flip it over and use the spine, you're perfectly fine. And I added some bell pepper. Because that's where the pepper comes in this thing. I have some noodles on the stove just in case, or just simmering, so that maybe they will cook. Got it on a fairly medium-low heat. These are just button mushrooms, just simple ingredients. You don't need anything fancy. If your food is good, your ingredients are good, it doesn't really matter. And this I'll save, the spring onion I'll save for later. I'm going to heat up this pan. That's about right. I went to my local grocery store and I found that. It's like breakfast sausage, but this says, if I can find it, Italian style. So I thought I'd give this a whirl. What we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And just you can do this with regular Italian sausage. You could do this with pretty much any sausage that you wanted. You could do this with andouille. You could do it with summer sausage or kielbasa. So what I'm going to do, let me put this over here. Underneath here, I'm going to have to bend down. But underneath here I have a bowl of water, soapy water. To wash my hands. Because I'm handling raw meat. Now you see that? People get all bent out of shape about these stainless steel pans. If you cook in them properly, they're just as good as a non-stick. I have an 8-inch omelet pan that's stainless steel, and I cook my scrambled eggs and my omelets and all of that in it without any problems. Nothing sticks. So I'm gonna turn that up some more, because once the heat hits the pan, it cools the pan down, and I want this to brown. And I'm trying to break it up. I'm not really worried about it being super broken up. If it gets there, that's not a problem. But I'm just trying to break it up a bit. It smells delicious. And you see this on the bottom of the pan? That's what we're after. And my noodles are coming up to a boil. We crank it and get it to boil. What we're going to do, we're going to cook this, and then we're going to set this aside on a plate. Stir the noodles a bit. I have the noodles in a little bit less water than, a lot less water than they should be, but that is the limitations of this stove. First time I've used this. This is the first video on this channel, so of course. But yeah, I just bought this a couple of days ago to do this particular kind of video. I have been wanting to do this quite some time, and I'm just going to keep stirring this until it looks to me like this is cooked through. That looks good to me. A lot of wind today. Hopefully it won't blow my food away. Keep an eye on them noodles because I don't want them to overflow, boil over. So we're going to put that back on the heat. And we're going to add some oil. Throw some onions on there. Need to crank that heat up a little bit more. There we go. That's what I want. I want that sizzle. That's lovely. We're going to add just a touch of salt. A bit of cracked pepper. Now we're going to throw the bell peppers in. And you'll have to excuse me if my arm reaches across the camera. It's what it is. Mushrooms. We're going to turn this up because we're putting a lot in this pan. And because the mushrooms tend to soak up oil, I'm going to add some more. No, I don't cook fat-free. Kind of stuff. And what I want to do, I want to add I know it's kind of contrary, but I want to add a touch of water because that bottom portion, that stuff on the bottom is wanting to try to burn. I want to take that off there before it does. Just a little bit, not enough to boil anything or anything like that. I just want that stuff, that good stuff, off that pan bottom. I don't want it to burn. I want it incorporated into this stuff, into the goodness in this pan. So we're going to keep cooking that. I'm going to let the moisture dry out a little bit, and I'm going to, once again, yes, I'm putting a little bit more oil in it. Those mushrooms soak up a ton of oil. And you don't want the pan to be dry now. Look at that. Don't that look good? I know one thing, I was all worried about this pan, this stove not having enough burner control. And I'm finding out here, at least, let me taste this. Yeah, those are done. We're going to shut them completely off. The noodle, what you want what I do is like an al dente. What that means is Italian for to the two. And I want some firmness to the noodle. I don't want to cook it so it's completely soft, but I want all the rawness of the flour that the noodle's made out of to go away. That's, in my opinion, what is meant by al dente. So we're just going to cook this some more till it cooks down to where I want it, and then we'll be back. Alright, got some fresh garlic going in. I don't want that in there very long. Understand? Alright, what I'm going to do, I know this is counterintuitive, but you'll understand in a minute. I'm going to add some more oil, and then I'm going to take some flour. This is called a roux. And I added that oil because what I want is I want this flour to incorporate with that oil so that it is completely coated with the oil. I want to let it cook just a few seconds. I don't need much, 30 seconds maybe. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add chicken broth. You could add beef broth. You could add all kinds of liquids to this if you wanted. And what this will do is as it begins to boil, this will begin to thicken. Look at that already. I don't want to get it too thick because I'm going to be adding cheese. And the cheese will thicken as well. But you see how that's starting to thicken? Well, you can't see it on the back of the spoon. We need to let that boil. Lovely. Okay, and it's thickening pretty good. And that's about where I want it, because what I'm going to do now is this is 6 or 8 ounces of a 5-cheese Italian blend cheese. So we're going to add that into the mix. See that? Look at that. Tell me that ain't looking good. And then what we're going to do is to add our sausage back in. Come on now. What do you think? I think that's going to be blooming good. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to back the heat off a bit. I'm going to let that simmer a bit. And what I'm going to do needs a little more salt. See, this is important with cooking. You need to taste. That ain't it. You can't just throw stuff in a pan. You need a lot more pepper. There. And cook it and then say, oh, that's gonna taste good. No, you need to taste that stuff. Okay? Lovely. And what I would do, let me taste that again. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about right there. Now we're going to take this pasta. And I don't even care if I get a little bit of water in, because the cheese is thickening that sauce quite a bit. And it's not going to hurt a thing. So I'm going to go there. Then I'm going to go. Woo, lost some of it. That's all right, a little bit of it. Not much. Let's see one of these numbers. We'll cut the heat off on it. Normally, I would garnish with a bit of basil or something of the sort, but we're going to use a bit of this spring onion. We're just gonna garnish over the top with the spring onion. And I'm gonna stir it in just a bit. Look at that. That's gonna be delicious. Sausage and peppers. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.